Kung magsasalita siya, di ba, it doesn't make sense. Stay comfortable.
Good afternoon, MPC. Good afternoon, special presidential spokesperson. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back.
Anong special?
Hindi, isa pala yun, sir.
Magandang hapon po, Pilipinas, at good afternoon to the ladies and gentlemen of the Malacañang Press Corps. Our Monday good news, the July 2018 employment rate improved to 9.6% based on the labor force survey of the Philippine Statistics Authority. This is the highest figure in the last 10 years among previous July rounds per the authority. Down to 5.4% for July 2018. The PSA also noted. The NEDA also said that the generated jobs for the month of July reached 488,000, bringing the country's total employment to 40.7 million. Another good news, we're pleased to announce that Philippine manufacturing sector continues to show excellent performance. The PSA, in its monthly integrated survey of selected industries, reported that the value of production index grew by 12.2%, while the volume of production index also grew by 11.8% for the month of July. The growth can be attributed to the improvement in the production of major sectors, including petroleum products, textiles, beverages, basic metals, miscellaneous manufacturers, machinery except electrical, paper and paper products, electrical machinery, and fabricated metal products. Likewise, stable domestic demand and robust investments due to heightened infrastructure projects and consumer spending are seen to sustain the country's strong performance in manufacturing. At magandang balita po sa ating mga mananakay, simula ngayong araw, 10 ng Setyembre, bubuksan na po ang PNR sa Ngandaan Station sa Caloocan City hanggang sa FTI Station sa Taguig City mula sa kasalukuyang PNR Caloocan hanggang De La Rosa Line. Ang pinakamababang pamasahe po ay nasa 15 pesos. Questions from the Malacañang Press Corps?
Question, MPC. Joseph?
Hindi mo pa pala alam eh. Yes.
Sir, is the President going to have a press conference or?
Well, he announced in Davao that he wants to speak to the nation. And if I'm not mistaken, it is scheduled for tomorrow afternoon.
What could possibly be the agenda or topics that he will want to talk about?
That's tomorrow. Let's wait for tomorrow.
All right. Sir, Trillanes tayo, sir. The President said in his arrival Q&A na ang angulo ngayon is usurpation of authority. Can you elaborate on it, please?
The President's belief as a lawyer is that an amnesty must be personally granted by the President. It cannot be further delegated to other officials. No? It is a presidential prerogative, so the position of the President is that only the President should have signed the order of amnesty.
All right, so sir, as far as the documents are concerned, yung pong meron si DND Secretary Gazmin before na I hereby approve and grant amnesty as stated in that order, that's not valid.
That's what the President maintains. It is only the President that can grant amnesty. And the President cannot delegate this authority to another person.
So if it were a document, going by that, how should it read? Should be
That's an additional ground for the fact that the amnesty is void ab initio.
So ibig sabihin, sir, kung hindi proper yung form nung kay Gazmin na order, ano yung proper
The
document?
President believes that it should have been President Aquino himself who should have granted the amnesty.
Sige, sir, yun muna.
Thank you, Joseph. Ina, follow up?
Sir, follow up on that. So will any action be taken by the palace regarding kay former Secretary Gazmin?
Wala po akong nalalaman sa ngayon.
Sir, yung proclamation 572 does not mention yung issue of Gazmin signing the order. How will it play doon sa issue na to since it's now with the Supreme Court which is studying it for its legality? Will another petition be filed or motion be filed?
Certainly not, no, because I'm sure the government will be given an opportunity to file its comment, and in the comment, lahat na po yung basihan kung bakit sa tingin ng gobyerno null and void ab initio yung amnesty will be invoked by the Republic.
Sir, bakit ngayon lang po? Is it just now, later on na lang after the proclamation na na-realize itong issue of former Secretary
The
Gasmin?
President is a lawyer himself, and he has the means to come up with his own legal conclusions. So this is an additional ground that he is invoking, not included in the ground cited by the Solicitor General.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Ina. Celerina.
Good afternoon, sir. So if the government will use this document na pinirmahan ni Secretary Gasmin, what will be the effect? I suppose that the same amnesty, same certification was also given to the other Magdalo who were given this amnesty. So what will be the effect on them?
Well, if the President's theory is correct, then similarly situated individuals would have similar amnesties which could be declared as being null and void ab initio. No? But right now, the only one being invoked as being null and void ab initio is that of Senator Trillanes.
I suppose they issue that certification based also on the, like, for instance, amnesty granted during the other administration. So if that's the case, those who were granted also amnesty and signed by the Defense Secretary instead of the President, that could also be affected.
That could be the case, but of course there has to be a declaration that it is null and void ab initio. Without that declaration, then I suppose it remains valid.
So if ever somebody would question that also and use against the other grantees, that the case would prosper.
That could be a basis to declare it as null and void, but as I said, this is now a matter to be resolved by the Philippine Supreme Court.
Thank you, Celerina. Julie?
Sir, do we see any forthcoming similar proclamations na null and void yung other amnesties?
I'm not
granted
aware.
to-
Senator Trillanes' declaration is so far the only one that the President has proclaimed to be null and void ab initio, and on good basis. There's a basis for distinction because Trillanes was the acknowledged leader of the Magdalo mutineers.
Julie. Viber question tayo, Secretary, from PR and IADA. DND Secretary Lorenzana says he got call from Solgen Calida only on August 16, requesting for Trillanes documents. 2 weeks after PRRD signs the proclamation, what efforts did the Office of the President take to find the amnesty application? Did it talk to former DND officials? One of them has spoken out, former USEC Honorio Ascueta, saying all the documents were in order.
I don't know. Next question, please.
Next question. Joyce, after Joyce, Tuesday, and Henry.
Sir, the Communist Party of the Philippines, in their statement this weekend, said that Duterte is abusing his power by merely ordering the arrest of Trillanes, and they actually compared Duterte to former President Ferdinand Marcos, being a dictator, for ordering the arrest of his critics as well.
The CPP-NBA has been labeled a terrorist group by both the European Union and the United States. They do not deserve any comment from the presidential spokesperson. Terrorists should not be responded to.
Follow up, Joyce? No. Tuesday, Henry, and let's go back to Joseph. Mike, please. Thank you. Tuesday.
Sir, doon sa possible press con ni Pangulong Duterte bukas, isa ba yon sa venue para doon sa nauna ng sinabi nyo na may i-anunsyo siya hinggil sa National Food Authority?
Hindi ko po alam, but he will talk to the people. I did not know about it. He just said he wants to talk to the nation, so wala po ko alam sa sasabihin ni Presidente bukas. He's still in Davao. We expect him back today. I would hope to talk to him before the press briefing to at least find out if he wants to do it in our press room. I hope he does it here in our press room.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So may follow-up dun sa amnesty. In fact, basahin ko lang yung sinasabi rin ni Dreo Calunchod na Yung Proclamation 75 ay pinirmahan ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, Pangulong Aquino noong 2010 at ito rin ang in-execute lamang ng DND. Therefore, matatawag na bang ano yan? Matatawag ng legal yung pinirmahan ng DND na
Well,
in-execute lang yung Proclamation 75.
Gaya ng sinabi ko po kanina, ang posisyon ng Presidente, dapat ang Presidente mismo ang nag-grant ng amnesty at hindi po ang kalihim.
So kahit na po may Proclamation 75, kailangang may certification na Presidente rin ang pumirma.
Yan po ang paninindigan ng Presidente na yung amnesty mismo dapat Presidente yung pumirma at hindi ang kanyang kalihim.
Alright. Another question, Secretary. Filing na ng Certificate of Candidacy sa October 1 to 5, if I'm not mistaken. Anong mangyayari po dun sa mga kakandidato na galing po sa cabinet mga cabinet secretaries? Magkakaroon ba ng reshuffle or may mga papalitan ba? May mga aalis na ba? Anong mangyayari?
Well, lahat po na magsusumiti ng kanilang kandidatura will be deemed resigned from their posts. No? So magkakaroon po ng mga vacancies in the cabinet.
Opo, wala pa po bang mga possible na papalit dun sa mga kakandidato, Secretary?
Wala pa po akong nalalaman na sigurado maghahain ng kandidatura at wala pa po akong nalalaman na naiisip na ipalit dito sa mga ito.
Thank you, Henry. Joseph, and back to you na again. May pinapatanong si Tuesday. Second daw bang opisina tanggapan ng spokesperson ay magkakaroon ng panibagong spokesperson?
We will soon find out.
Haming.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
In
Henry.
20
Joseph.
days or so.
Oo, paparamdam ha. Read my lips, sir.
Sir, ano lang, just so we're very fine about this, why does it appear to the palace that it was Secretary Gasmin who granted the amnesty?
Again, the President thinks and believes that an authority expressly granted to the President cannot be further delegated by the President.
Why do we believe that it is delegated?
Because the wordings of the Constitution is that the grant of pardon and amnesty is a power to be exercised solely by the President.
And sa level nila, na Secretary Gasmin and the former President Pinoy, what happened? Can you illustrate by way of maybe
Well,
what
Gasmin
document?
is not a president, and that's why the position of the President is that the amnesty was not properly issued, additionally, as an additional ground.
Yeah, where is this reflected, sir? That
The language of the Constitution.
yung pong order ng Gasmin na have you seen
He's
that?
the one granting authority, not the President. He was the one who signed the amnesty order and not the President.
Okay. Sige, sir. Thank you.
Ina, still
Sir-
on amnesty?
Sir, yes. Just how serious is the President in possibly studying kung dapat i-void yung ibang amnesty, yung amnesty given to others similarly situated? Because in his Q&A in Davao, nung dumating po siya, sabi niya, bakit naman daw niya ipapakulong yung iba? Dahil mga kaibigan daw naman niya yun.
Sinabi ko na po kanina, kaya po si Trillanes, yung kay Senator Trillanes pa lang ang nadeklarang null and void ab initio, may basihan naman po siya sa yung tumayong leader ng mga Oakwood mutineers.
Sir, follow up lang to sa amnesty from PR and Yada again. Does it concern Palace that voiding of Trillanes amnesty would have an impact on future amnesty granted by Duterte administration and future administrations?
No. Because it's only granted, only Trillanes was voided.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Amnesty again, Trillanes. Okay, Joseph.
Sir, can a president revoke or declare ab initios another president's?
The President just did.
Okay.
Because of the legal basis that he has invoked. The non-compliance with the requirements provided by the basis to provide amnesty itself. Alam nyo, ang dami kasing dakdak, ang daming drama. Ang issue lang dito, nasaan yung duly received application form mo? Importante po yan kasi yung duly received application form also contains yung pag-amin sa pagkakasala. Ang aming posisyon po, napaka-importanting dokumento niyan, siguro kasi importante yan ang birth certificate, ng marriage contract, dahil 3 counts of kudita naman yung pinag-uusapan natin, dapat naitago yan. Walang kopya si Trillanes, walang kopya ang DND, nagpunta siya ng Supreme Court, ang kanyang inattach, blankong application form. Tama na po ang drama, tama na ang dakdak, binigyan ko na po kayo ng primetime coverage nung kami nasa Jordan. Back to reality, where is your duly received application form? Ganun lang pong kasimple yun.
Ibang topic na tayo, MPC. Other topics? Trillanes ulit. Bombo. Celerina Joyce.
Sir, pero of all those people na granted by, well, general amnesty by the former president, hindi naman kayo maakusahan ng selective justice kasi bakit si Trillanes? Why does Trillanes rings a bell?
Sinabi ko na po yun dahil meron naman pong basis for doing so. Siya po yung tumayong at inamin niya na siya talaga yung tunay na leader ng Magdalo.
Also, sir, can I shift now to related kay Trillanes?
Related kay Trillanes.
On the alleged, sir, today Senator Trillanes says that he is seeking Senate investigation to the alleged multi-billion contracts awarded allegedly to the father and half-brother of Sap Bongo, timely to this development. Just your comment, sir.
That's the prerogative of the Senate. It can investigate on anything and everything it wants. It has plenary powers to do so.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Bombo. Celerina.
Sir, there's this statement by the Integrated Bar of the Philippines expressing their deep concern over the position being, I'll just quote the statement, the position being peddled to the public that records of the executive branch can be used to overturn final dismissals of criminal charges by our courts. And they're saying that the decision, this proclamation was really illegal in as far as Trillanes is concerned. So what can you say about this, since this is a group of lawyers?
I think as lawyers, they know what they should be doing. Tigil na yan dakdak. If they want, they can intervene in the Supreme Court action and let their views known. If they have proper standing, then the court will allow them. So sa akin po, the IPP of all organizations knows what the proper legal remedy is. Doon po sa korte, dali ng usapin, wag sa media.
Sir, going with that statement of the President against Gasmin, na siya yung pumirma, sa Constitution din is the President who is the chief architect, di ba, of the ng foreign policy. So what will happen to those, if ever na i-compare yung mga agreements that the government signed, and it's the alter ego of the presidents who signed those agreements. So that could be a ground also na pwedeng i-revoke.
No, because in international law, we have what is known as full powers. A full power is a document stating who the authorized representative of a state is in signing an international treaty. The absence of a full power is a basis to nullify a treaty signed without full powers. So big distinction. Even in treaties, you need what is known as full powers. Parang SPA.
So this, yung power na ignorant din ni President to Gasmin, na siya yung sumain, kasi nandun sa certificate na parang may power of the President. Tapos si Gasmin lang yung nag-sign.
Kaya nga po pero wala pong full powers na binigay kahit kanino So we do not know who's authorized. And a position of the President is, unlike in international law, where it is recognized that presidents need not personally sign treaties because they could issue full powers, wala pong ganun na sinabi sa saligang batas. Ang sabi lang sa saligang batas, isa lang po, opisyal lang po pwede mag-grant ng amnesty at ng pardon, at yan po ay ang presidente. Kaya nga po taunan, di ba, lalo na pag Pasko, yung mga commutation, pardon, lahat po yan personally signed by the President.
Thank you, Celerina Joyce.
Sir, the President admitted in his press con last weekend that he particularly targeted Trillanes, and I quote, "Bakit ko tinarget? Well, I only have one word, do not do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you." Can you
Actually, he
expound
took
on
it
that?
back.
Yes.
Let's not take it out of context. Sabi niya hindi niya tinarget. Nag-aral si Soljen Kalida, whom described as medyo matalino, and found out. Oh, di ba sabi niya yon? And found out that there was a discrepancy. So he was not targeting.
But can you expound na lang doon sa sinabi ni President, do not do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you? Ano po
Well, I
ibig
guess
sabihin
kasi
ng
ang
Pangulo?
feeling ni Presidente, tira ng tira si Senator Trillanes sa lahat ng mga opisyalis ng gobyerno, yung pala, meron din siya mga pananagutan. So, it's the golden rule. I think that's self-explanatory.
Thank you, Joyce. MPC, other topic? Yun pa rin. And then, okay, Ina, please.
Sir, dun sa PCIJ report, has the President has the President said anything about this? Yung multi-billion peso projects allegedly secured by Bongo's
I do not know
relatives?
because it does not involve the President himself.
So, you don't know, has SAP Bongo maybe talked to the President about this?
Unfortunately, we're talking about authority to sign and authority to speak. I have no authority to speak for Bongo, the special assistant to the President. I can only speak for the President.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sec. Joseph?
Can we shift a little bit? Sir, yung sinabi ni Presidente na he blamed Trump on about the inflation. How is that again, sir?
Well, we all know that the kumbaga, economic crescendo of the world economy was abruptly interrupted with a trade war. We know that all growth forecasts are now being adjusted because as a result of the trade war, we know that growth may not be as fast as we expected it to be. Now, this is similar to other developments worldwide. Major trade wars have economic ramifications for the entire world. Now, in an earlier study, they say that the Philippines is most susceptible because our exports to China are in turn re-exported by China to the United States. No? So yan po ang sinasabi ni Presidente na interrupt yung momentum ng ating economic development, although we still have very good economic growth recorded so far.
Sir, kasi yung sa analysis ng DOF, supply yung problem, no? For example, sa gulay o kaya sa mga poultry products. And meron din na bahagi ng oil, no? So, how do we again transpose yung it is America's whatever activities that affect our inflation?
We'll have weaker exports and slower economic growth.
Okay, sir. Pwede bang checklist lang, sir? What are we preparing for sa Mangkut in Super Typhoon that's about to...
Well, I was going to discuss that in a subsequent or in a later press briefing. Pero mga kaibigan, meron na naman pong super typhoon na parating. So, iniinganyo po natin ang taong bayan na maging laging handa. Ayusin na po natin yung ating emergency kit sa ating mga pamamahay. Maghanda na po tayo ng tubig at dilata. At yung mga naninirahan po sa malapit sa mga karagatan, tignan na po natin kung saan tayo temporarily na lilipat pagdating po ng bagyo. Huwag na po tayo mag-atubili. Ngayon pa lang, kung meron kayong mga nais na protektahan ng mga ari-arian, itago nyo na po sa ibang lugar at huwag na po sa bahay ninyo, lalo na kung kayo po ay malapit sa karagatan. No? So, hindi po natin mapipigilan ang mga aberya gaya ng mga super typhoon, pero mababawasan po natin ang danyos na dinudulot ng mga ganitong aberya sa pamamagitan ng pagiging handa. So, i-anticipate na po natin ang mga pwedeng mangyari para po wag na kayo manatili sa mga bahay-bahay ninyo. Yung mga gusto nyong iligtas, dalhin na po sa ibang mga lugar. At kung po pwede po, maghanda na rin, lalo na yung mga dadaanan ng bagyo, no? Na pumunta na sa ibang lugar na po pwedeng puntahan. Kung may mga kamag-anak po kayo, makitira na po kayo sa mga kamag-anak nang hindi na kayo makitira sa mga resettlement at saka temporary evacuation areas. No? Again po, kinakailangan laging handa tayo. Sanay na po tayo sa mga bagyo. So alam na po natin dapat ang gagawin natin. Mababawasan po ang aberya, ang epekto ng aberya kung tayo po ay maghahanda.
Sir, yung mga DSWD, are they prepositioning goods?
They have all prepositioned goods. The DSWD is ready to provide humanitarian assistance. Meron na naman tayong strategiya talaga dyan. Matagal na pong naka-lay down o naka-lay out yung ating mga plano. Hindi na po tayo magdadala ng mga goods doon sa mga lugar na po pwedeng tamaan dahil meron ng mga naka-preposition na mga goods dyan. Siguro po ang sisiguraduhin na lang idadagdagan yung mga goods sa mga lugar na in-expect nating dadaanan ng super typhoon dahil unlike other super typhoons, parang ang daming landfall nitong super typhoon nito o wala pa ata. But in any case,
Wala, pero malapad.
Oo nga, pero malapad eh. So, yun po, no? So, lahat naman po ng taong gobyerno na gumagalaw sa mga panahon ng aberya ay naghahanda na rin po para dito sa malaking bagyong ito.
Questions, NPC? Raymond?
Siguro, starting kung susunod yung press briefing natin, imbitahin na rin natin ang iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno para magsabi ng kanilang preparations, no? Dahil inaasahang maglalandfall o lalapit ito sa atin ng araw ng Thursday, no? Thursday.
Sir, doon sa Senate hearing kanina, yung sa Senate Committee on Agriculture, medyo nasabon si Secretary Manny Piñol kay Senator Cynthia Villar. Kasi he's insisting na there is no shortage sa supply ng bigas and other basic commodities. Sir, do you still agree with him considering the soaring prices of commodities, even na we are already, say, flooding the market with imported goods, imported rice?
Anong tanong?
Do you agree with what he is still standing by now, that there is no actual shortage of food in the market?
Well, ang
Supply.
Presidente po nagsabi sa kanyang arrival statements na we have ample supply. Isa sa problema siguro po ay yung mga nagsasamantalang nagtatago ng mga supply na yan. So, ang pangako nga po ni Presidente magsasample, no? At hindi ko lang po kung kailan mangyayari yan.
Sir, but are we right to what the government is saying, that when we flood the market with imported rice, imported commodities, there will be eventual lowering of prices, but it doesn't happen actually?
Well, kaya nga po ang teorya ng Presidente, may mga nagsasamantala kasi so far po 500,000 metric tons na yung pinalaw natin mag-import. Napakalaki ng halaga na po yan. Ang hindi na lang nakakapasok is 135 at parating na rin. Tapos nag-order na naman tayo ng additional 250 kung di ako nagkakamali. No? So sobra-sobra na po talaga ang binigyan natin ng authorization para maangkat sa iba't ibang lugar ng Southeast Asia. So naniniwala po tayo na ang supply ay naririyan, baka meron lang po talaga mga nagtatago.
So where can we actually feel yung parang epekto niya na maramdaman ng, kasi medyo ramdam sa baba yung talagang mataas na presyo ng bigas ngayon at maraming umaray. So when we
Well, ang
expect?
Presidente po ay hinalal ng mga taong maliliit at mahihirap. Huwag po kayo mag-alala. Ramdam po ng Presidente ang nararamdaman ninyo at merong mga hakbang ng ginagawa ang Presidente. Siguro po sa lalong mabilis na panahon, mararamdaman naman yan.
Sir, may pabulong na tanong. Sir, yung meron bang sapat na NFA rice for this upcoming typhoon na baka marami naman yung mga kailangan ng bigas na ating kabayan?
Naka-preposition po ang bigas na gagamitin natin bilang humanitarian assistance sa panahon ng bagyo. Sapat naman po yung ating ibibigay sa mga magiging biktima nitong bagyong ito.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Raymond. Last two questions, Badet, and last three. Okay pa, Sec? Last
Okay
three.
lang, but I have to rush to next one.
Short lang. Badet, Tuesday, and last, Joseph.
Sir, on NFA po, you said over the weekend that the President has made some decisions on the NFA po. What was it po, and is it related to sacking NFA Administrator Jason Aquino?
I'd
po?
rather that the President make that declaration if he has made up his mind on it.
Tomorrow, sir.
I do not know, but we will find out.
Okay, sir. Sir, on another question po. I think the President was briefed about the non-monetary measures listed by the Economic Development Cluster last Wednesday to fight inflation. Did the President approve all of these recommended options, and what were his marching orders during the Cabinet meeting in relation to these options po?
Well, let's not call it a cabinet meeting because not all members of the cabinet were present.
Okay.
He met with all members of the cabinet who were in the trip. No? So, hindi naman po malawakang discussion ang nangyari sa inflation. Basta ang sinabi ni Presidente, gawin ang lahat na dapat gawin. He does not micromanage. And so far, what have we done? We have authorized importation of oil galing sa Russia na mas mababa. We have allowed entry of imported agricultural products. We have removed special safeguard measures. We have increased regional daily wages all over the country. He has vowed to run after hoarders of rice. We have authorized the importation of rice itself. And I think we will also authorize the importation of broken rice to augment the supply of 27 pesos per kilo rice. No? So, yun po yun. And in addition to that, yung full implementation ng SRP law. In some areas po, like in Zamboanga, they have resorted to price control after a declaration of a state of calamity.
Pero sir, the economic managers po have agreed to recommend to the President the issuance of a directive to further simplify and streamline the licensing procedures for rice imports of NFA po. So meron na po bang sagot si
Napag-usapan
Presidente?
po yan. In fact, ang solusyon, no, isa sa solusyon na naiisip ay magkaroon ng isang full-time customs person who will authorize the issuance of import permits for rice. Kasi naaantala yung importation kasi minsan yung pumipirma kasama ng chairman ng customs. No? So natatambak o na hindi napipirmahan yung mga import permits, no, na naging dahilan kaya hindi rin mababa yung mga bigas. So alam po natin ang problema, may problema rin tayo sa logistics, may problema rin tayo doon sa minsan time gap sa pagpirma ng mga relevant documents sa customs. Lahat po yan aadresan ng ating pamahalaan.
Sir, sino po tong particular person na po?
Hindi ko pa alam kung sino na-designate, pero ngayon po kasi may parang chief of staff si Commissioner La Peña na siyang pumipirma, na kapag nag-out of town si Commissioner La Peña, wala rin siya. So isang naisip na solusyon ng mga importers ay magtalaga ng isang tao na hindi aalis sa opisina ng customs para lang pumirma ng mga import documents pagdating sa bigas.
Sir, last na po. Sa oil exploration deal po sa Israel, sir, ano po nangyari? Napirmahan po ba?
Hindi po napirmahan. It is still for study of the Office of the President, but there is an agreement in principle. But the requirement is it has to be in writing, signed by the President, and reported to Congress.
Sir, kailan po balak mapirmahan, if ever?
Sa lalong mabilis na panahon po. Secretary Cusi was there. The only reason why he went there was to focus on this negotiation. So it's been concluded, but the legal documents will be studied by the Office of the President, and we will have to comply with the constitutional requirements nga na sabi ko kanina, in writing, signed by the President, and a report given to Congress.
Ah, okay, sir.
Thank
Sige,
you, Badet.
sir.
Tuesday, Joseph, and one last, habulan natin si Ms. Bansa.
Nako, I have a 2 o'clock.
Quick question lang. Tuesday, Mike, please.
Pwede ba one last question na lang? Because I still have to travel, no?
Sir, ito lang. Kaugnay dito sa super typhoon na darating, may plano po ba si Presidente na ipatawag ang NDRRMC para doon sa possible instructions or briefings na pwedeng ibigay sa kanya?
Well, magkakaroon po kami ng cabinet meeting on Tuesday, and I'm sure the super typhoon will be discussed, no? The state of readiness of all the agencies responding to calamities will be discussed.
Thank you. Last question.
Last question na please. 1 hour na tayo, no?
Oh, sir, isa lang.
Vance,
Sir,
sige, Vance, please.
Sir,
So
how
English
much-
answer then. Okay, go.
Okay, sir, what can the President do regarding this, yung mga pagtaas ng mga presyo ng mga commodities? Kasi
I've already
maaari na-
answered
Yes,
that po
sir,
kanina.
pero yung mga gulay, mga kung ano-ano, mga...
Lahat po kasi yan tumaas dahil tumaas ang presyo ng langis at krudo. Lahat po yan ang gagaling sa Baguio. So natural, tataas po. So the President has authorized, as I said, the importation of cheaper diesel so that the transportation of vegetables from Baguio will become cheaper.
Sir, how much is the total amount dun sa trip ninyo sa Israel and Jordan?
Hindi ko po alam, pero this time we went through a chartered flight, so hindi ko po alam kung magkano yung cost ng chartered flight. At yun lang naman po, there was not really a
You
per
don't have any
capita.
approximately...
I don't have an
amount.
approximate po because I'm sure the figures have not been finalized.
But you are one of them.
Yes, sir, I was there. Yes, ma'am, I was there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Ms. Vance. Sir, one last question na lang talaga kay Joseph, tsaka isang one Viber question. Last na yun. Joseph, please, quick answer lang. Sir.
Sir, itong issue ng presidential prerogative, this is all the president's ruminations, and this was
That's
his
his
idea.
legal opinion that he articulated when he gave his arrival statement.
Sir, between Proclamation 75 and then 75 and document from Secretary Gasmin in I think January 2011, what is the what can be considered as the final act of amnesty? Is it the
I think I've answered that. The present position is the amnesty was actually signed by Secretary Gasmin.
so yung 2011? Because
Yes.
Trillanes is saying covered siya nung earlier proclamation.
Let's let the courts decide.
Spokes lang to. From Belia Carriazo, Valenzuela Court affirmed its earlier decision to junk the 6.4 billion peso Shabu case. While DOJ said it will appeal its CA, Hindi ba ito setback in the government's war on drugs?
Well, I have to underscore po, walang dismissal on the merits. So pwede po yung ma-refile, pwedeng questionin yung order ng RTC, wala pa po tayong pagkatalo kumbaga. Venue lang po pinag-uusapan dyan, wala pa pong decision on the merits, so hindi pa po completely dismiss ang kasong yan. Madali lang po yan, i-refile po yan kung kinakailangan.
Thank you, Presidential
Okay?
Spokesperson Harry Roque.
Thank you.
MPC.
So no more press briefing tomorrow if the President's press briefing will push through. I will inform you where, but I would suggest that it should be here. Okay? After is the cabinet meeting at 4 o'clock.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why? No, I mean,
3 p.m.
after the press briefing will be the
Cabinet
cabinet.
meeting.
Pero ito, per schedule ha, it could change. Okay? If it's changed, then I'll let you know so that we can proceed with press briefing tomorrow. Ha? Thank
Welcome
you.
to those of Radyo Pilipinas and PTV. Thank you, MPC.